Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. I don't think I ever made a video about the Ring War in Metropolis, so today is gonna be the day. Basically, I saw the announcement that Ring War would start not too long ago while I was playing with my friend The Flash, the fastest man alive. So let's go to LexCorp Tower and let's go see if we can fight some evil villains. I think I'm a bit disoriented. I'm so used to using the teleporters nowadays that traveling by foot, especially by foot, it's much easier to get your bearing when you're flying around. There's like Score Tower, so it's much easier to get your bearing when you're flying than when you're stuck to the ground. Oh, and the evil villains already have 4 lanterns, so I probably could stay. I would probably be more powerful with my PvE gear, but let's switch to PvP just because. I'm more than a little out of practice for PvP, as you can see. I don't PvP as much as I once did. There was a time when I would PvP quite a lot. I would pretty much play as much PvE as I would play as much PvP. But there would be cycles when I would play PvE more, then I would go through a cycle where I would play PvP more. So you can see there's an evil villain rolling around. So basically the idea for Ring War is that if you're on the hero side, you must gather 10 green lanterns, like that little lantern over there. And if you're on the villain side, you must gather 10 yellow lanterns. So the goal is that you bring back the lanterns. For the heroes, you bring it back here. You see the alpha lantern that's lying on the ground. You're trying to raise the alpha lantern. As opposed to the villains, for them, they're trying to raise the manhunter. So there's two things at that. You have to, yes, you have to defeat enemy players, but also you have to bring back lanterns. The first team who brings back 10 lanterns wins. Sadly, nowadays you can only do the Ring War once a day. In the past, you could pretty much farm Ring War all day long, but at some point they made changes so that nowadays you can only do it once a day. So, and if you see, as you saw, if an evil villain leaves the lantern lying on the ground, you can click on it to make it disappear. Nah, he flew away. That's okay. The goal is not so much to defeat the enemy players as to bring back the lanterns. Nah. So you can basically you can win the Ring War even if you don't defeat a single villain. But you have to make sure that the villains don't bring lanterns to their objective either. So you have to bring your objective, and you have to stop the other team from bringing their objective. It's not that evident because there's only like 2 of us right now. So basically, whoever is stronger than the other one can pretty much defeat him and continue to bring in the lanterns. But if there was a whole group versus a whole group, the whole dynamic would be much different. Sadly, they made a whole bunch of changes to PvP at some point, and people barely run Ring Wars anymore. So usually you end up doing the mission by yourself, like solo with absolutely no one to fight, or you end up in a situation where it's just you versus one other guy. Although here we're in the PvP phase, it could be different in the PvE phase, maybe. There's a bit more people in the open world in the PvE phase, so that's probably another thing that kind of influences that. But then again, if people are playing in PvE, as a rule of thumb, they don't have any interest in playing PvP. So odds are they're not playing Ring War either on that side. I guess I'm gonna have to switch phase at some point and test it out. We'll see. But also nowadays we can only do it once a day. So again, even assuming that there's other players who actually do play it. So you saw the mission was called Fear versus Will, and I was able to complete it. So once you bring all the lanterns, it wakes up. In this case, it woke up the Alpha Lantern. If the evil villains had brought 10 yellow lanterns, it would have woken up the Manhunter. And once you wake up the Alpha Lantern, I guess we're gonna have to wait a bit. It summons pretty much an NPC. Not sure what the Alpha Lantern is doing. Is he on crack? Is he drunk? Come on, get it, move! Move, soldier! There we go. So once the Alpha Lantern gets up, it summons this little character that will be able to sell you some PvP gear. What they're selling is 97 and 96 level PvP gear. So if you want to buy some rookie trinket, you can. If you want to buy the starter, the PvP soda, infinite soda, you can. So you can see she has some 96 and 97 PvP gear that you can purchase. And as you can see, this gear is much better than what I'm wearing right now. I will show you in a bit the gear that I'm using. You guys will probably laugh a bit once you see that. So as you can see, there's a rookie trinket that allows you to break out, and it's fairly inexpensive, so you can buy it as soon as you want to be able to have your trinket for PvP. Sadly, it's a PvP trinket. You cannot use it in PvE. Let's consume that. So again, the victorious team essentially summons a vendor that will be able to sell them some gear. So in this case, the hero side won. So the Green Lantern was summoned, but if the evil villain had won, it would have summoned a Yellow Lantern character, and then the villains could have purchased that PvP gear. It's not a big deal because basically it's the pretty much the same gear that you can purchase from the PvP vendors in the Watchtower or in the Hall of Doom. So you don't really need that vendor. I think eons ago there were a few pieces that vendor was selling that no one else was selling, but I could be mistaken about that. And again, nowadays, basically for the gear itself, you can just go to the Watchtower or the Hall of Doom. It doesn't really matter. I will try to show you where the quest giver actually is. So basically, in order to be able to get access to this mission, there is a specific quest giver that will give you the quest. Where is it again? It's been a long time since I've gotten into the bad habit of always using the teleporters, so I kind of forgot a bit the layout of the land, you could say. Eons ago, I would only travel. I would do most of my travel like this. I would barely use the teleporters, but at some point it became very, very tempting, especially once you get access to pretty much everywhere in Gotham and Metropolis with your teleporter. Then you develop the bad habit of you teleport to your base and then you teleport straight to where you want to go, as opposed to just going by foot. Oh, I think there we are, but I've completely passed. Let's go back. So technically, the quest giver is not. Where is he? No, he's where the poster is. Normally, there's a Green Lantern that appears there, and he's the one who actually gives you the mission Fear versus Will. If you play as a hero, as a villain, I would have to show it to you with a villain character because otherwise I'll be attacked. And as you can see my PvP gear. It's some very, very old gear. It's some item 86 PvP gear, which was known at the time as cash gear. Basically, once you reach level 30, you could purchase a full set of PvP gear just using cash, and that was the starter PvP gear. And then you had to play PvP and upgrade your gear. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.